Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping back to September 6, 1965, a date that's really significant in Pakistan, right? It's Defense Day.
It absolutely is a key date.
So our goal here is to dig into the sources we've got and, understand why this particular day resonates so much. It's all about honoring the armed forces, their sacrifices, their bravery. And there are some, surprising elements here about resilience, especially against what was seen as a much larger force. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it's useful to think about how these kinds of national days work. They really help shape a country's story, its identity.
Right.
The material we're looking at today positions September 6th as the day Indian troops launched what it specifically calls a surprise attack across the international border.
Aiming for Lahore.
Aiming straight for Lahore, exactly. Right. And what our sources detail is Pakistan's defense against that move. So we'll be looking closely at the stories, the specific details in this particular account.
And it sounds like things unfolded really dramatically. The sources described the Indian army crossing at the Wagah border on September 6th.
That's the account, yes.
And the stated goal was capturing Lahore, described as a kind of riposte, a comeback for earlier Pakistani actions in Kashmir.
A direct retaliation, according to this narrative.
What really jumps out is this apparent belief, initially on the Indian side, that it would be quick, like plans to celebrate at the Lahore Gymkhana Club quick.
Yeah. That detail is quite striking. Suggests a certain confidence.
But that confidence, it met with what the sources call unexpected and fierce resistance.
A different reality on the ground.
The Pakistani forces, described as being outnumbered, maybe caught off guard initially, still put up this incredibly valiant defense.
And there's specific examples mentioned, right?
Yeah, definitely. Stories of heroism, like Major Raja Aziz's body. He was posthumously awarded the Nishan-e-Haider, which is Pakistan's highest military honor.
A huge recognition.
Absolutely. And he and his troops apparently held their ground along the BRB Canal. That's the Bambawali-Ravi-Badian Canal. It acted as a major defensive line.
So using the terrain.
Exactly. The sources mention intense close quarters combat there, really digging in.
What's fascinating here is how the story then expands. It's not just about the ground troops, vital as they were.
Right. The other services come into play.
Definitely. The Pakistan Air Force, the PAF, their motto is second to none, is portrayed as playing a really decisive role.
How so?
Well, the sources talk about swift and effective retaliatory strikes, hitting Indian airfields, destroying aircraft on the ground, and managing to gain air superiority, which is pretty significant.
Wow, okay. Against a larger force, potentially.
That's the narrative presented. And there's that very famous story, almost legendary, of squadron leader M.M. Alam.
Ah, yes, I think I've heard this one.
Setting an unparalleled record, they say. Shooting down multiple Indian fighter jets in just one mission. Just an incredible display of exceptional skill and bravery highlighted in these accounts.
That's quite something.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it wasn't just the Army and Air Force. The Pakistan Navy gets a mention too.
Okay, what was their role?
Operation Dwarka. Described as a successful naval raid on an Indian coastal town, Dwarka. The aim was apparently to destroy a radar station there.
So taking the fight to the coast as well?
They maybe draw Indian warships out. Plus, the submarine PNS Ghazi was patrolling the Arabian Sea, acting as a powerful deterrent. So you see this coordination across all three services in the narrative.
Yeah.
A kind of combined defense strategy.
So what does this all mean looking back from today?
Well, the sources make it very clear. The events of that day, September 6th, 1965, are remembered as a testament to the courage, sacrifice, and national unity of Pakistan.
A foundational moment in a way.
Very much so. The day itself is marked, with flag hoisting, military parades, exhibitions. It's a day to remember the martyrs and Ghazis of veterans who returned.
And reinforce that national resolve. It really underlines how these historical accounts shape a nation's view of itself.
Exactly. This deep dive really shows how the source material presents 1965, and particularly that day, as a source of inspiration. And for future generations about defending borders, protecting independence. This raises an important question for you listening. How do these kinds of formative stories, full of defense, unity, sacrifice, how do they keep shaping how a nation sees itself and maybe even where it's headed?
That's a great question to ponder. It really makes you think about how different nations choose to remember conflict and heroism. What do these specific stories we've touched on, individual bravery, that sense of collective resolve from the sources, what do they reveal to you about how powerful national memory can be? Something to reflect on.